For the month of June, I am celebrating roses and I thought of sharing with you all what do I do with roses. I allow the roses to be in my garden as long as they stay really well, but when petals are about to fall apart from flowers, I pick the flowers from my garden and prepare the recipes out of them. In this episode, I'm going to share some instant recipes one can prepare using rose petals. Welcome to Bhavna's Kitchen. Today I'm making instant Gulkand rose petal jam. Gulkand is an Ayurvedic tonic. The health benefits of Gulkand includes reduction of pit and heat in the body, a reduction in eye inflammation and redness, strengthening of the teeth and gums, and the treatment of acidity. Oh, this is the instant version of Gulkand rose petal jam. Yes, Gulkand can be made if there is no sun and you don't have to wait for 8 to 10 days to get it done. Let's get started. Here I have already washed and dried rose petals. It's very important to wash and let the rose petals dry or just pat dry and then leave it on a counter or in the shade. Do not put them in a sun. Just let it dry inside the house. So here I have rose petals ready. Now you can just chop however you like. You can tear it apart in small pieces. It's totally up to you how you want to handle the rose petals. Some people like chunky, very chunky Gulkand or kind of a jam, or some people like it small pieces of rose petals. So depending on your preference, you can either use food processor or just chop with a knife or just keep them whole. If you just like the the big chunks of a Gulkand, you can just keep them whole even. So I am going to actually chop them really fine. Here I have the food processor and I'm going to dump all the rose petals into the chopper. I'm using the mixed variety, the red and the pink. Into the pan, take out the rose petals. Now here I have 2 cups of rose petals, and for that I'm using 1 cup of sugar and a teaspoon of lemon juice. These are the only key ingredients needed to prepare Gulkand. Mix. Now on a medium heat, cook the mixture, rose petal and sugar. As you can see, it has started cooking now, and you might have noticed that I am not using any water. Please do not use water for this recipe. The aroma is so wonderful here. Once the sugar melts, keep stirring. You don't have to stir continuously, but don't let it cook just as it is without stirring. You won't believe how quick and easy it is to prepare Gulkand at home. So don't let your rose petals go wasted. Instead, make yummy Gulkand. Gulkand is ready. As you can see, it just took about 7 minutes and done. When I picked up the spatula from here, you can see that, look at this. So turn off the stove now. That was really quick. And now I am going to divide Gulkand in 2 parts. Half of the Gulkand I'm just going to flavor with cardamom, elaichi. Yummy and simple Gulkand is ready to serve in your desserts, or you can just eat as it is, or you can make even mukwas, which I'm going to show in just a little bit. For those who do not know what mukwas is, it is basically Indian mouth freshener. I love making Kaju Gulkand ice cream. Gulkand is very cooling and refreshing, so perfect to use in summer recipes. Stay tuned for my upcoming Kaju Gulkand ice cream recipe video. Always turn off the stove as soon as it starts getting thicker, because as it cools down it gets even thicker. So depending on the consistency you want, if you want to use it as a jam, jam needs to be spreaded easily. So do not overcook like gulkand, but instead just cook for about 2-3 minutes, and it will be like a kind of a jam that you can use on bread or any of your recipes. Even for the desserts, gulkand can be used even for many desserts, but if you just want that kind of a jam that kids will enjoy, you can leave out the nuts and everything that I'm going to add. So there are several options for this one single recipe, so just go ahead and prepare your way. Now to prepare gulkand mukhwas, ground nuts, seeds and spices are added. It's basically kind of a Indian mouth freshener, and it happens to be one of my favorite. Into the chopper cup, take nuts like almonds, pistachio, cashew. Your choice of nuts can be used for this recipe. And here I have fennel seeds, known as sulfur variali. Coarsely grind the ingredients. Take out the ground nuts into the mixing bowl. Next, add coconut, and if you have poppy seeds or amaranth seeds, you can add those kind of seeds as well. Flavors like cardamom and saffron can be added as well. This is basically elaichi and kesar. So now coming back to the remaining gulkand, add ghee in the middle. Now this step is optional. You can just add all these ingredients just as it is in there, but I kind of like to add a little bit of ghee, clarified butter, and roast all these ingredients slightly. So this can be like kind of your mouth freshener as well, instead of eating pan and all that. I really love this gulkand with all the nuts and all the spices in there. Fennel seeds in this gulkand brings amazing flavor. Here I have kesar, saffron, elaichi, cardamom. Now mix everything and let it cool. Remove from the stove. As you can see, it is very thick now, and as it cools down, it will be completely nice and dry gulkand. Now one more ingredient I'm going to add, honey, but totally optional. You can use other liquid sweetener as well. Drizzle honey only when the mixture has cooled completely. Do not add honey in the hot mixture. Mix really well, and once you add honey, you will see that the gulkand becomes glossy, shiny. To me personally, gulkand mukhwas is a kind of a little dessert treat after every meal. Alright, so as you saw, it was very quick and easy. Before I even know and before I even start stirring, it was almost done. So it's that quick and easy. If you want to prepare jam, however, you can add a little bit of water so that you get that kind of texture that jam has, that can be spreaded easily. But if you want to prepare gulkand, no water. When gulkand has cooled completely, store into the airtight container, and if it is cooked properly, like dry like this, it stays at the room temperature for up to a couple of weeks. But if you have prepared kind of a jam, little you know, like a soft and little liquid in there, then you may want to store into refrigerator. Look at this. Now, because it has all the nuts and all the flavors, this can be just eaten as it is. It is one of my favorite to eat, you know, like as a mouth freshener even. What I normally do, I have like betel leaves in my yard, in my garden. So, you know, I add those betel leaves in this recipe as well and make kind of a pan. Can't tell you how good it is. All those flavors bursting in my mouth. Amazing. Wash the pan really well, remove the stem, roll into cone and stuff the cone with gulkand, and the pan is ready to serve. Next, let me show you how I dehydrated rose petals. My garden is blooming with lots of roses, and so I don't pick the roses immediately, but once the petals start falling, I just pick them and then prepare the rose petals for later use in my recipes. So that way they are used for two purposes. First it decorates the garden, and once the petals starts falling apart, I can use in my recipes. Wash rose petals really well and pat dry. Wrap the rose petals with paper towel and microwave for 2 minutes. Unwrap the rose petals and allow them to cool. As they cool, they will get more dry. Hope you can hear the sound of dry rose petals. And now these dry rose petals can be used in many recipes, especially desserts. Gives amazing look. So here I have the rose petals ready, and you saw how quick and easy it is to dehydrate your own rose petals at home. Now you may have questioned whether do I have organic roses. Yes, I do not feed any kind of fertilizer except cow manure to all the plants in my garden. No chemical fertilizers at all in any plants. So yes, they are organics. If you have a garden where you don't use the chemical fertilizer, you can use your roses from the garden. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, making of gulkand or rose petal jam. Please do like and comment below, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for new recipe videos every week. You can also visit my website bhavnaskitchen.com for new recipe tips, tricks and ideas in the kitchen. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Pinterest. Bhavna's Kitchen is everywhere. You can download Bhavna's Kitchen apps totally free on your iOS, Android and many other devices. You can watch me on a big TV screen using Roku, Amazon Fire or YouTube app itself. Thank you for watching and see you soon.